Happy Friday, everyone. Getting this live going here. So as it's loading, happy Friday, happy new weekend. So glad, number one, that the internet is working, because when I tried to do this last week, I had so many issues. We ended up doing it on Saturdays. So the intention of these conversations, right, we're calling Spilling the Tea, really giving you an insight on how to create a growth mindset to cultivate or create your best life, right? To live the best life that you can, to create the best version of you. In doing that, bringing you stories from amazing women that I've met in my community in the last 6 years. As most of you know, I have been on this wellness, self-love journey with Herbalife for the last 6 years. And in this journey, I have gained a sisterhood, an amazing community of empowered, resilient, brilliant, beautiful, strong, powerful women. So I wanted to create this live series every Friday, bringing you a new story, a new share from just a powerful women that I've met. And in sharing their story, my intention is for us to make connections through our own stories, because although we all live our own life and we're all going through different things, there's a common theme in our story, right? And it's resilience. It's overcoming obstacles and hurdles in our life. So I wanted to bring these stories to you. And I know so many of you that I've known for so many years, you watched my journey even before Herbalife. You watched my journey the last 10 years. But what I want to bring forward is how important it is when you're focused on a specific, like, say, weight loss journey, like I was, how important the concept of doing the inner work, working on the inner things in connection to the physical transformation, why it's so important to really heal from your past things and traumas and just emotional hurdles, to have that best transformation from the inside out. So I won't keep talking to take up your time, but I wanted to introduce my special guest. So I met her, literally, we started Herbalife at the same time. And through this journey, I have watched her just have the most incredible life transformation, like literally life transformation, the physical, the inner, the emotional, the financial, just the leadership, all of these things. I've watched her grow into and blossom, and now she's just this amazing coach, this amazing woman in our community who now empowers other women to master the art of the workout, right? But in doing this and helping other women learn how to work out and move their body, she's really giving them body confidence as their bodies are transforming. So I want to bring her on, have her share her story, and have her share 3 tips of advice that she would give to her past self. And in doing that, also giving us a little bit of insight on how we can apply those things into our life. Because even though I personally have been on my weight loss journey or health journey for the past 10 years, because I'm connected to this amazing community of women, I get to constantly work on myself, learning from these women, sharing these amazing stories. And so I'm really excited to have her on and have her share. She's, if you don't know, she is my Herba bestie, right? She does Fit Dance with me, and we got to connect through our love of music. She's probably the only other Herba sister that I have met that really loves like the all genres of music like I do. So that was one thing that we immediately connected to, is like we love rock music and metal and hardcore and emo and punk rock and all of that, right? But we love everything, and we love to dance to everything, and we were connected through dance and our love of music and our love of just not only working on ourselves, but helping other women find that confidence when moving their body. So without further ado, I want to bring on my amazing friend, Alyssa. So let me see if I can get her to join on here and have her share her amazing. So hopefully it splits into 2. By the way, don't mind my bed I'm assembling back here. We are getting the house ready. Hi. Happy October. What's orange? Actually, you should have told me. I would have wore orange too.
How many people are shocked?
I know.
Black sweater. Oh my goodness. That's so fun. Over here laughing. Yes.
Hey, that's part of your growth, though. That's part of your growth. That's part of your
Freaking
growth, that you
orange
learn to
of
love
all
color.
No, I'm over here laughing because it's funny because I don't think a lot of people like know that is like how we met. Like, yeah, we started going to train station like at the same time, and but we went on this hike, this group hike, and I didn't know anybody. I think that's something else too. Like, not a lot of people know is like none of us knew each other before this. Nobody, you know, and so yeah, we went on this group hike. I didn't know anybody. I almost didn't go. And Cindy was over here. She had the speaker in her backpack, and it was playing No Doubt. And I was like, all right, I'll just follow this girl because she's got the because she's got the music. And yeah, then I kind of just tagged along, and we started talking. And of course, then I would see her at train station, and we would work out together and all that. So that's so funny. That's so cool. But cool to look back and see like where it really did start. But yeah, also, who votes that Cindy gets a talk show, like an Oprah style talk show? I vote Cindy talk show immediately. Anyway, yeah, so thank you for having me on here. I'm excited. My name's Alyssa, if there's anyone on here that I don't know. And yeah, we started around the same time, almost like over 6 years ago. And I had just found myself in a place where I was unhappy with the way that I looked. I was unhappy with the way that I felt. And you know how we all have like those one size of pants that's like bigger than the rest of them? So those were fitting too tight, okay? I did not want to buy a bigger size pants. So I knew that I had come to a point where like I need to start doing something because it's not getting any better, you know? I started going hiking with a friend once a week, and that's where I met Adri, who was now my friend, but a stranger at the time, who was just inviting to the workouts. And that's exactly how I started. And I think that's why I'm really passionate about it. Like the workouts is because that's exactly how I started. I went to a workout, did a wellness evaluation, and never looked back. And I think one of the craziest things is I so clearly remember having this thought because I had tried so many things before, and I had tried these like diets before. And I remember thinking like, oh, I wonder how long I'll do this Herbalife thing. Well, joke's on me because 6 years later, we're still doing it. But yeah, so it's been like, it's funny because now I tell people like, I've made all the mistakes for you, you know, like we have made all the mistakes for you. So you're good. Like you're in good hands. But yeah, so 3 things I would share with poor little Alyssa, who was just trying to figure it out. I think the first thing I would tell myself, or really tell myself to believe it when people told me, would be, and I hate saying this because I hated hearing it, but it's so true. Trust the process. It takes time. Have patience. And as a very impatient person, as you can imagine, that was very frustrating to hear when people would say that. But it is so true. I think where that comes from is, you know, like I said, I used to do those like quick fix, like fad diets where it's like lose 15 pounds in a week. It's like, that is so not good for you, like physically, mentally, you know, but it was that like quick satisfaction. So I was still looking for that, you know? And so I think that's where it came from. But, you know, what do they say? Slow and steady wins the race. You know, it may take a little bit longer. It may, you know, like it's a little bit more like slower progress. Sometimes, not all the time. Sometimes it's just like, oh, damn, like who are you? But it does take a little bit longer. However, the results are way more sustainable. I feel way better. Like my energy is a lot better. I did one of those where it was like, I literally lost 15 pounds in 1 week once, and it was terrible. I felt so bad, like really weak. I felt really weak, and I wasn't into that. So yeah, just, if you're on this journey, like if you're just starting out, if you've been here for a minute, just understand it takes time. I didn't become 30 pounds overweight in 1 week. I'm not going to lose it in 1 week, you know? It takes time. But I will say the more consistent you are, the faster you will get there. You know, the more that it's kind of like the flip-flop, the off and on, which I have done plenty of times, okay? It will just take you that much longer. I think another thing too, I was still trying to find shortcuts. Like even after I started taking the product and I was working out, I was still trying to find shortcuts. I was eating less. I would skip breakfast still, you know, just, and those are just habits that you learn along, like trial and error things that you learn along the way. But I think if I had realized, it's funny because I always say the shortcut just was a shortcut right back to the beginning, you know, like it never got me any further. It never made me feel any better. So it takes time. And I know I hate it when people tell me that too, but it is so true. Another thing is I wish I would have realized, or I wish I would have understood that making healthier choices, like whether it be with your food or if you're trying to be more active in your workouts and stuff, that doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You know, like every day doesn't have to be 100%. And that was kind of a like moment I had, because I went from eating fast food like at least twice a day, Starbucks every day. Like I was that person. Okay. I went from that to the total opposite. And then I think that just made me feel like, oh my God, like I can't mess up. It's like, yes, you can mess up. You can have your pizza. You can have whatever. Like you can go to a birthday party and enjoy yourself, you know? If you miss a workout, it's not balance. Yes. If you miss a workout, it's not the end of the world. And I think that was a hard connection for me to make, because I thought at the beginning, I thought it was either one extreme or the other. So when I wasn't 100%, I was really like hard on myself, you know, which doesn't help anything. And that's why the 21-day challenges that we do are like so incredibly important, because the goal is not to be perfect for 21 days. It's just to help you build habits. That's all it's for, is to help you build habits. It's not to just go like, I mean, if you want to go super clean, like if you want to totally cut out soda for 21 days, if you want to, you know, not have like a treat meal for 21 days, like that's up to you, but that's not the whole point, you know? So I think just understanding like, and I was going so far as like, I was only doing like lemon juice on my salad. It's like, girl, if you want ranch, like put ranch on your salad, you know, like it was that extreme, which only made me like think like, oh, I can't do this forever. It's like, well, no one can. Like, of course not. So the balance is important. You know, the balance is important, and just be gentle with yourself. Like, you don't have to be 100% clean or healthy or whatever every single day. So that's another thing I wish I kind of would have realized earlier on. Another thing, the last thing, I guess, like I mentioned, and I kind of get like emotional when I think about it, honestly, but like, I have fallen off more times than I can count, more times than I can remember. I fake it real good, you know, like I've through the years, I've faked it real good, but like I have fallen off more times than I can even count. And from experience, okay, I don't say this as your coach because I have to say it. I don't say it because I'm supposed to say it. I don't have to say anything. I say it from experience. The longer you stay down, the harder it is to get up. You have to get up no matter what. That's the main thing. Just get up no matter what. It doesn't matter how long you've been out of it, how long you've fallen off, how long, whatever. It doesn't matter. But I will say, the longer you stay down, the harder it is to get back up. Life happens to everybody. Life happens to everybody. Things will happen to knock you off. Some little, some very big. And that's okay. That's just part of life. And again, it's about building these habits to where even when things do happen, you've built up these habits to where you don't even have to think about it. There's girls on the workouts, they don't even think about it anymore. They're just like, yeah, this is just part of my day now, you know? Or like what I have for breakfast, I have a mug cake for breakfast literally every morning. But it's like, even on days where I don't feel good, like I still have that because it is a habit. You know what I mean? So and I think too, and this is something, if you're on our team calls, you've heard a lot of, stay close to the fire because you're going to catch a spark. Stay close, stay connected, even if it's just to your coach, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's not to everybody, which I recommend because it is helpful, because everyone has like their own story and you might connect to, you know, but stay connected. I really have to say, if it weren't for this community, if it weren't for Sandy, if it weren't for Adri, for Delfina, for like so many people, like it would have been a lot harder. You know, I kind of often am like, damn, like I've been doing this 6 years. Like, why am I not further along? Whatever that means, further along. Like, why am I not further along? But at the same time, I had to grow as a person. I had to grow as a person in all of this. I think, you know, we don't realize, like, when you start a weight loss journey or when you start trying to get healthy, there's a lot of emotional stuff that comes up. Like, why is my relationship with food so bad? Why do I binge eat? You know, that's not just like a habit that's like an easy fix. That's like an emotional and mental block that a lot of people get scared to work through. Like, let's be real. So stay close to people that are there to help you, to support you. No one is here to judge you. Like, trust me, we're in no place to judge anybody. No one's here to judge you for what you did or didn't do or how long you've been away or whatever. Like, stay close, because when you can't motivate yourself, let them like be that inspiration. You know what I mean? Like, motivation, that's a whole other topic. Like, you ultimately have to take responsibility for your own journey. You know, like, we can't drink your shakes for you. We can't work out for you. You know, you have to take responsibility, but just get up, get up, get up, get up, because the time is going to pass no matter what, right? October, no, perfect time of year. October, November, December, these months are going to go by no matter what. So you can either do little habits now, like working out, drinking your water, little things. It doesn't have to be 100%. You know, this is the time of year people get busy, people get distracted, people go on vacation, people eat a lot. It happens. That's okay. But you've worked on these habits and you've built up these habits to where come January, when you are ready to go full in, you're that much further ahead, you know? So if you're down right now, it's also that time of year, or like also the year and a half that we just had, like, damn, you know, like, we're all in a certain space and a lot of things have happened to all of us. So no matter where you are, just get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Because the sooner you get up, the sooner you're going to feel better about everything. And it's crazy too. I believe that physical and mental health, they really do go hand in hand. Physical and mental health go hand in hand. So even if you just do like a 30-minute workout in the morning, watch what happens to your life. Watch what happens throughout your day. Watch what happens to your mind. It's crazy. And that's, again, another reason I'm so passionate about the workouts now, is because over this past year and a half, like, life was flop, turned upside down, all kinds of crazy stuff for everybody. But the workouts were the one thing that I could count on to, number one, be consistent. Like, they were always there. And two, to make me feel better. You know, it was that 1 hour day where it was just like, nothing else matters. This is about me and the people that I get to show up with right now. So community is huge, 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 huge. It's funny too. Another thing I hear sometimes is like, oh, I'm trying to do it on my own. You know, it's like, well, you are doing it on your own. I don't drink your shake for you. I don't take you, you know, like, you are doing it on your own. Just at least have some cheerleaders in the, you know, like, stay close. It takes time. You don't have to be perfect. And stay close. Stay close. Stay connected. Reach out. Trust me, you will not bring us down. We are here to lift you up. That's another thing I hear a lot. You will not bring down the mood. You're not the Debbie Downer, whatever. We are here to help you and lift you up. And I think the more I would realize that, even within just the past few months, things might be a bit smoother. But hey, the whole thing is a learning process. We have made the mistakes for you, so you're in good hands. But yeah, I hope that you guys had some good takeaways from that.
I love that. I love that. I want to go back to something you just said. So connecting physical health to mental health. And it's absolutely true. So if you don't know why you feel a certain way after you get a workout, right? Understand that physical activity actually changes the activity in your brain. So it's making new connections. It helps you with memory. It helps you with mental focus. It helps you with your mood. That's like the best way to switch your mood is to move your body. And it doesn't mean I'm going to do an hour workout. It means get up, stretch your body, do breathing exercises, do anything to get your body moving, because that shifts the connections in your brain to make you feel a certain way, endorphins, right? And then second, so really quick, I want you to touch base on, because we're coming to that season where emotional eating, like what's your trigger? What was your trigger? What was your trigger? And when did you realize this? Because I think a lot of times we don't. So for me personally, I did not realize that I was an emotional eater until I kind of knew it, but I didn't face the fact that I was until I found this community. So guys, before I found this community, I was already on my weight loss journey, and I had already lost about 80 pounds, but I was at a plateau for 2 years. And I thought I was eating right. I was doing all these, like Alyssa shared, all these fad diets, right? Cutting out this and don't drink that. But then it was like, she said Monday to Friday, I was super strict. And then the weekend, it was like I was drinking my calories. Okay. So when I found this community and I started working on the inside, like the emotional things, like what are you holding on to? Why? And understanding that for me personally, the physical weight I was carrying was connected to the emotional baggage that I refused to let go of. So letting go of the things that didn't serve me, but having the realization that I was an emotional eater, that I was triggered by sadness and all of these things. So it wasn't until I realized that that's what was making me want to eat things, and coming from my childhood, right? So I want to know for you, I think she got disconnected. I want to know for you, when did you realize that you were an emotional eater, and how did you overcome it? What were the things that you had to do to overcome that? Let me get her back on here. I don't know if it was my internet or your connection, but because this is such a common thing. So did you hear what I said? I don't know.
Yes, I did. I caught it all. I caught it all. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I'm here. Yeah, so you know what's crazy is it actually wasn't until very recently. We have this thing called Tea Talk, right? And it's like a women empowerment group, and we follow books. And one of the last books we did, it's called Buy Yourself the Fucking Lilies. Fantastic book.
Love it.
If you haven't picked it up. But I was one of the guest speakers for some of the chapters, and I don't even remember what the chapter was called, but I think it was on things we do to like cope, like coping mechanism, you know. So like for her in the book, it was weed. Like she would rely on weed for like everything. And you know, a lot of people do it with like alcohol, drugs, but then there's food. And I was like, oh no. Why is, you know, so I kind of took a minute, and I really wanted to sit with this, because the way that I rely on food is like, I have a very like F it mentality. When I'm not feeling like mentally good, I'm like, oh, well, nothing matters. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll roll through Del Taco. I don't know how we spend $20 at Del Taco and everything's like $1. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that. And so I'll either just be like, F it, and I'll be that way for like a week. Or for some reason at like 2 a.m., like a bag of Cheez-Its suddenly just disappeared, you know? So it's like, I'm that kind of emotional eater. But I was like, where did this come from, and why? And I think it's one of two things. I think for one, it's like a scarcity thing, like a scarcity mindset thing is like, you know, because when I moved out at 18, and I was not financially ready to move out, but somehow did it. And, you know, so it was like, I would have like one box of mac and cheese for like 3 meals, you know? And it was like, I would buy like bread and mac and cheese and top ramen, you know? And it was like, so I think subconsciously it's like, I don't know when I'm going to eat again, so I need to eat everything right now. And I think that's part of it. Another thing I think I realized is, and this is kind of where the emotional part comes from, is like, think about when you go out with friends, like, what does everyone go to? Dinner and drinks, right? Let's go to the bar. Let's go out for dinner. Let's go get some drinks. And so I associated that with fun, you know, like when I would do that with friends, I associated that with being fun. So what do I do when I feel sad? I want to eat and I want to drink, you know. I don't drink anymore, but I used to. And so it was like, I associated that with being fun. So I would just like overindulge on it. So I think those for me are the two things that where the emotional eating part came from. So once you realize it, then you can work like through it, you know? Another good trick is like saying, and this is like, we got unfortunately we got COVID like in last December, almost a year ago. But one of the things is you lose your smell and you lose your taste. So then it was like, well, I don't want to eat anything if I can't taste it. So now I kind of use that. It's like, do I want to eat this because I'm hungry, or do I want to eat this because I can taste it? Because those are two different things. So am I hungry? Does my body need this food, or am I bored? You know what I mean? Like, am I just bored? So, also, have you guys seen The Grinch? Like, he's like, am I just eating because I'm bored? Like, we say that all the time when we're like, you know, when you open the cupboard, you close the cupboard. You open the fridge, you close the fridge. You open the cupboard, you close, like magically hoping there's something going to show up. So it's like the more aware that you are of why you do it, that's when you can start to be like, okay, wait a minute, you know? So yeah, I think those two things were for me, like, either the scarcity mindset is like, I don't know when I'm going to eat again, so I need to eat everything right now, which is not true. There's food in the kitchen. There's food, you know, I have money to get food, you know, that's not true. That's another thing too. I tell myself now, like, that's not true, you know? And then with the emotional eating part, it's like, well, there's plenty of other fun things I can do that don't involve food and drinking, you know? So, yeah, having those realizations, like when we were reading that book was like, that was a really big thing. So, yeah.
I love that. And it's so true. And I think so many people can relate to that. I can totally relate to that. And what's a trick? Keep yourself busy doing other things so you're not focused on just eating, because you don't realize that that's like our first thing to do is like, okay, I'll eat something, you know? So stay out of the pantry if you're not hungry, having that awareness.
Yeah.
So last thing. So, you know, you've been a part of this community for the last 6 years. How has that helped you? Like, I mean, I gave you an introduction, but I want to hear from you what you feel you've gotten out of the community, because we just talked about Tea Talk. And guys, Tea Talk is something relatively pretty new. Within the last, we actually started this because of the pandemic, being able to still connect virtually. Before, we used to do these every Saturday at our gym, which no longer is. But the beauty of that is that with this pandemic, we've been able to pivot in other ways. So we have online workouts for you guys on Zoom, which Coach Alyssa does an amazing job. We have a full schedule of that. We have our Saturday morning Tea Talk Empowerment call, which is Saturday mornings, 9 a.m., with the exception of the weekends that we have our Herbalife trainings. But we have that. And what an amazing way to still provide value to our community, stay connected, and empower one another. So I want to know how this community has impacted you in your life and your journey, and the amazing woman that you are now.
I mean, does everyone have like the rest of the day? Because I don't even know. I'm like trying to think of at least 3 things, but there's like, I feel an entirely different person. I don't even, so when I met Adri and when I met everyone, it was a week before my 23rd birthday. I hated my job. I was in a really toxic relationship. I was unhappy with the way that I looked and felt. I would sleep probably past 11, like every day, and get up, go get fast food. You know what I mean? Like, it was just not the life that I wanted to live, and not the life that any, 20-something, not the life anyone should live, regardless of your age. And my life has done a complete 180, dude. Like, I feel so much better. This is not something, by the way, like working out and eating right and blah, blah. This is not something I ever had a passion for. I never played sports when I was a kid. Like, I was always the chunky one, I was always a little bigger. So like everything, literally everything has changed, everything. And I think, and I'm so grateful that I got to do it all, like surrounded by the people that I did. And then I had the examples of people right here in front of us. Like Coach Sandy has been a like, I can't even find the words, a phenomenal example of so many things, right? I saw her relationship with Juan and I was just like, damn, like that's love right there, you know? And like that helped me get out of my toxic relationship, you know? And her and like she said, so many of the other women that we would see on Saturday mornings when we had like our women empowerment events, it's like, damn, like I got chills, you know? It really does bring the best out of you when you stick through it. You have to stick through it. A lot of people run away when they are faced, because a lot of this requires you to look at yourself like right in the mirror. Like literally, we've done this activity before. Look at yourself in the mirror, like look into your eyes. And for many people, it's hard to do it without breaking down in tears. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that I got to work through, not just from like a health standpoint, like physically, like losing weight or anything like that, but like mentally, emotionally, as a person. Like I'm much more secure in who I am as a person. I was always a really like loud, like little kid, but you know, what are those kids told? Be quiet, dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, like you're too much, you're too crazy. I was always too much and too crazy. So I was like, well, you know, it gets to you. But and you know what's great? What another kind of realization I had is, so I was a drama kid. Shocking, I know. I was a drama kid, and like I loved it. I loved it. I did. That's all I cared about. I loved it, and I could get up on stage, no problem. Like not nervous, not scared. It was so easy. And then I'm like, they would ask me to talk at like, you know, when we used to call it Team Beauty. And I'm like, why am I so nervous? Like, why am I sweating? Why is my throat dry? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm not reading from a script. Like I'm talking from my heart. Like I'm talking from who like I really am and my real life experiences. And that shit's hard. That's hard. So I appreciate that this has helped me grow as a person. I appreciate that I've found really my passion, because like I said, I was working in a job I hated. I used to work at a restaurant. I used to be a bartender, and it sucked. I hated it. And like the environment, there were a lot of things that just like I don't miss it at all. People are like, do you miss it? There's nothing that I miss. There's like a couple people that I miss, but that's about it. But it's like I didn't know what I wanted to do like with my life. I didn't go to college, you know? So it's like I was in a place where I was like, where do I even go from here? And I was, that had a lot to do with my early, like the first time I really experienced like depression was the fact where I was like, oh, I'm going to be stuck here forever. You know, that's kind of what I thought, is like, I'm going to be stuck here forever. So not only did like Herbalife give me obviously the nutrition and like the people I met through this gave me the guidance and everything, but it's like, I found like what I want to do. Nothing makes me happier. Literally nothing makes me happier than when I get a text message or DM saying like I just got one the other day, Laura, if you're still on here. She was like, I did planks for both 45-second rounds. Like I held it the whole time. Or I had somebody say like, I got up the stairs, like, and I'm not even like breathing hard. Like those little messages of like these everyday things, that means everything to us. Like that means everything to us. It's not about like, it's not about, you know, I know like MLM and network marketing, like it has its own thing, you know, people have their opinions about it, but it's like, I think what we get to do, we're in a really special case where it goes way far beyond that. You know, I've met people that I might not have ever met in my life, you know, if it weren't for this, and people who I really consider like family now, you know, and who have seen me through the absolute worst. Like they've seen me at my worst, and they've done nothing but love and support. And like I'm sorry, that went way on like beyond your question, but it just
no. This is great. This is a part of it.
So yeah, I appreciate like I think people think like, oh, they work out and they take shakes or whatever, but it's like so far beyond that. It's like hard to put into words, honestly.
Well, and that's another thing why these conversations are so important, because it is more than that. And I know that I don't ever feel like I have to explain that to somebody, because it shows in how we show up. It shows in what we share, the stories that we share. And that's why for me, it's so important to share those stories, because I don't ever want anyone to feel like I'm just trying to sell them a shake. Because no, girl, I'm trying to change your motherfucking life. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do, because of how I have seen it not only work in my life, but how I've seen you. I've seen so many women, and that was the intention of connecting with this and sharing these stories, because it goes so much deeper than she lost 30 pounds, she lost 20 pounds. It's so much more. Yeah. And you're just getting started, girl. And what I'm so proud of you, number one, for just everything. Like you said, we can go on for the whole day and just talk about everything you've done, everything you've conquered, everything you've accomplished. But now getting to see you living your purpose on purpose and doing what you love. Like, whoever thought that you could be making a living making donuts, like healthy donuts? Like, that just blows my mind, because I remember when I met you, like, we had a conversation of like, oh, what's your like trigger food? What's your trigger food? What's like your one bad thing that you're like, oh my God, don't let me have this because I can't control myself? And for you, it was always donuts. So the fact that now you've turned it around and now it gets to be like a healthy option is kind of amazing. It's kind of like meant to be.
I've done it. I mean, if that's not a life's purpose right there, I don't know what is. But yeah, that's another thing too, is like it can be fun, you know. It doesn't have to be like that was another thing I had, like this perception of what being healthy or eating healthy meant. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna eat salads for the rest of my life. It's like, no, that's not even close. I made freaking pizza bagels yesterday with the baked goods mix. Like, you can make anything you want, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I'm that's a whole other thing. Like the protein donuts, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful too, because we've had a lot of people lately who are diabetic order the donuts because they can't have, you know, like the regular donut shop donuts. So like being able to provide in that way too. And it's I think that kind of hits me. And I if they're on here, I'm not sure if she's on here. I thought I saw her name, but like that hits me in kind of a different way, because diabetes runs on both sides of my family. My grandpa passed from diabetes. So that was also a big trigger for me at the beginning, is like, you know, when you have like 1,000 thoughts in 1 second. So when I was doing my wellness evaluation for the very first time, I was 22 years old. My body age, the age my body felt was 41. And I was like, sorry, almost double my age. And I had all these thoughts, and one of the thoughts was like, if I keep going, I'm going to get sick. If I keep going, I'm going to get sick. I'm terrified, bro, of needles, not my thing. And I was like, I cannot stick my finger or give myself a shot. Like, I cannot do that. And so that was a big thing. So with the donuts, we've had actually recently like 3 people who their husbands are diabetic. They're diabetic. They're one of them, her brother was diabetic. And it's like they can have these and enjoy themselves, you know? So that is just like, oh, Monique, I'm so happy to hear that. She said, my diabetes is under control because of this journey. Love you, Monique. She's been one of the ones, she's only done Zoom workouts, by the way. She joined during the quarantine. So, but yeah, it's really like you said, it goes way beyond us just trying to sell you a shake, you know? What's funny too, I didn't even start with the shakes. I introduced those later. I started with the post-workout and something, like the shred combo. I know you've seen Cindy post about it. That's what I started with. So it's not, it's way beyond shakes too. So, but yeah, it goes a lot deeper than that.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm so grateful for you. I love that we get to do this because you have such a powerful story and people need to hear it. So thank you so much. And I'm gonna go ahead and post this, guys, on here. And I've been saving the videos. It's only been 2, right? I've only done 2 live, but I'm also posting them on my YouTube. So I'll share that as well, so I can share it on the chat for all of the girls who wanted to tune in but they weren't able to if they're at work. So you guys can join us on Saturday mornings, like I said, with the exception of the days that we have our Herbalife training. This weekend we have an amazing training. literally, guys, this weekend is all about, it's called Leadership Development Weekend. And literally all we're doing is not only getting amazing information about how to be a leader in our business, because we are CEOs, but also the personal development aspect of it. So it's just so powerful. Do you want to share really quick like your first time experience of this event? Hi, Julio.
Casey. I think I'll share one that always stands out to me. It was the very first time that I wanted to quit. It was the very first time that I wanted to quit, that I wanted to give up, that I wanted to stop, because it happens to us too. And this is the importance of always showing up, because you never know what you're gonna hear. You never know. I was at this event. There was a part of it that was called like supervisor school, and you have to qualify for it. And there was one time that I didn't qualify, and I was sitting out in the lobby of the hotel by myself, and I was like, really, bro? Like, really? Like, this sucks. All my friends are in there, you know, like I felt bad, you know? And I was like, am I really supposed to be doing this? Like, am I really meant to be doing this? And sure enough, the next section, I go inside. The girl who was on stage, 30 pounds overweight, ex-bartender, like, and I was like, what? Like, I got the chill even now. And she was talking about she was talking about her journey, and she said that her sponsor told her, the bad times don't last forever. And it was like the first time that I had heard, and I was like, is anyone else in the room right now? Like, is it? And it just hit me so hard. I started crying right there too. And I was like, okay, all right, the bad times don't last forever. And I have to say that the LDWs, the Leadership Development Weekends, have been the most impactful for me personally, for my journey. Extravaganza in July, that's always super obviously fun. It's like a Super Bowl of Herbalife. There's a lot of people. It's a huge event. But I think the LDWs for me have been the most impactful, both in strategy, you know, and like how to be a good coach and all of that, but also like from a personal development standpoint. They've always been my favorite. And I think it was an October LDW too that happened. So it's just kind of full circle back around. But yeah, so that's one thing I remember is you never know what you're going to hear. You never know what someone's going to say that just like hits you so deeply, you know? So.
Yeah. And that, going back to my point, like how important it is to hear stories from people. So like my friends that follow me and my friends and family, they may not necessarily follow you, but now they get to hear your story and be impacted by your story and your journey. So that's the beautiful thing about this community, is we get to do that. We get to expose our friends and family with powerful stories. And that is like what this weekend, the first part of this weekend will be. The second day is, like you said, personal development. And I am so grateful, I know you are too, for Herbalife, because that literally changed my life. That is the reason why I am here. That is the reason why I am alive and I'm thriving, and I get to show up as powerfully as I want in my own life for the people that I love, because I've been given this opportunity. So super excited. We're going to be together this weekend. So yay. Doing it together virtually. Shout out to the team who's going to be at the in-person event. You guys are going to have an amazing time. But if you guys want to join us for Tea Talk next Saturday, she mentioned that we met on a hike. So we're actually, next Saturday is going to be our group hike at Mount Rubidoux. Woo! Mount Rubidoux, right? I will post a flyer later on in the week. So, because I know if I post it right now, you guys are going to forget. So I will remind you guys about it, but it's going to be amazing. It's our celebration for our end of 21-day challenge. You'll learn about the next 21-day challenge, but more importantly, you get to be a part of the community and get this kind of like empowerment going to fuel you as we go into the last few days of the year. Like, we're already 2022, guys. And know that whatever you do right now leads up into the new year. So if you have goals, whatever, life goals, start working towards that right now, because you don't want to be like everyone else waiting till the new year. And just so you know, if you start in January, you have a less percentage of success to make it happen. So don't Don't be that person. Start right now. Get connected with us. You're also available to join our VIP workouts as a one-time guest. Do not miss Fit Dance. Fit Dance is like, no lie, the best ever. Like, it's so much fun. If you're looking for a way to introduce yourself to workouts, but to be honest, all of the workouts are amazing. Coach Alyssa does a really good job at helping you learn how, if it's like your first time, or if you are an expert, right? You're a gym rat. That doesn't matter either, because these workouts are for every single level of fitness. Doesn't matter where you are, where you're starting. We also have in-person workouts on Tuesday and Sunday. Tuesday is in the evening at 6:30 p.m. Ryan Bonaminio Park below Mount Rubidoux. And then on Sundays, it is at 9 a.m., 8 a.m.
8 a.m., yeah.
8 a.m. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. at the same park on the basketball courts, most likely, right? So get connected. Follow her at Greenbox Nutrition IE. Get your donuts. These donuts are bomb.com. You will not regret it. She has an amazing Halloween pack right now that are so cute, and they're really great snacks for the kids, guys. Like, realize that these are our products, our shakes, can be made into muffins, pancakes, waffles, donuts, right? And they are great for the kids. Low sugar, okay? That's what it's all about, not adding extra sugar to their snacks. So these are perfect. So hit her up. I will post her her Instagram and her personal and her donut business on here. So thank you guys for joining in, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you so much, Alyssa.
Thank you. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Love you too. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.